week. So that would mean it's time for gaming news. The gaming news. Not a whole lot of news this week, though. Very light news week, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'll go ahead and let you kick things off because you had mentioned earlier there was a trailer you saw this week you thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so at one of Sony's previous State of Plays, they showed off a game called Stray, and it's where you play as a cat in kind of a post-apocalyptic robot society where there are no humans. And the trailer actually showed gameplay and stuff, and you literally just a little kitty cat, and you're traversing the world, and there are apparently some sort of monstrous critters. I forget what they were called, but the robots are afraid of them. They chase you and try to attack you. I would liken it to the Flood in Halo, where with any area that they're in, you're just like trying to run and get away from them. And then they showed off eventually you can get like this ultraviolet light that completely like destroys them. So I was like, okay, so this has like a bunch of different stuff going on, and you can interact with the robots and meet them and talk to them, and they can send you on missions and stuff. And it just looks really, really, I don't know, it looks cool. And I'm not even a cat person, but I know that cat people are going crazy. I actually saw one article. It was titled something like, I saw the Stray Cat game, and I need you to give it to me now, and I don't care. Just give me that cat game.
I feel like 2020 was the year of cats. I saw so many cats show up in my video games.
Yeah.
I mean, Judgment came out in 2020, and it's all about the cats, right?
That's
and then
true.
you have Final Fantasy VII Remake and all the strays that... Was it Wedge, I think?
Yeah.
Had all the stray cats.
Yeah.
And the cats look great in that game, by the way. I think that there was... Wasn't there like a cat in Last of Us Part 2? There was a lot of games where I played that had cats.
I'm sure.
I just have several memories streaming last year being like, this game got cats too. Oh, Cyberpunk 2077, got them cats.
Got them cats.
Yeah, got them cats. So, I don't know. They're coming back in video games in a big way.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be releasing early 2022, so might be something to be on the lookout for.
Is that on PS5?
Oh, yeah, PS4, PS5, I believe Xbox as well.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't
cool.
know about Switch.
Crossing my fingers it'll come to Games Pass. Save me some money.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, speaking of PS5, we finally have some solid state drive SSD expansion options for the PS. Yay! Things are a bit messy though. The compatible drives out there sound kind of complicated to install. I'll save our listeners all the details and the jargon. You can Google that if you're interested in looking up what's currently compatible, but I heard things like it may require installing additional heat sinks, and that may or may not fit properly in the shell of the PS5, and that, some are bigger than others, and then installing them may get complicated. And usually when you have a firmware update that allows the functionality of add-ons like they're releasing soon, which would allow for these external drives, you also get a list from that publisher, that manufacturer. You get a list from Sony, basically, that would tell you what compatible drives are, and they didn't do that yet. So I'm holding off until Sony does release the list of compatibles so I can see, what they would recommend that would fit best, and then let other people kind of work through the nitty-gritty of it. It's just another thing that Xbox has on PS5 right now. Like, Microsoft's over here laughing because they're like, do you have a Seagate laying around? Yeah, it hooks to your Series X. You're done. Now, to be fair, part of the reason why it's complicated is because it's an SSD. The benefit of the PS5 is that them load times are crazy fast. And in my experience, that is kind of a leg up. But at the same time, if storage is your thing and you don't care so much about the loading, you already got that in spades on the Xbox Series X. I got a few Seagates laying around because I went crazy and bought a bunch of them on sale. So I had one hooked up to my 360, one to my Xbox One, one to my PS4. I got like two terabyte ones. And I got I had one. I had a 1 terabyte hooked up to 360. I was like, I will never have to delete anything off this thing ever again.
Right.
But now I have a Series X, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So that happened. Keep an eye out for updates on that if you're interested. At least, again, the firmware update is out there. We don't have to worry about when's it going to come. It's coming. And then shortly after, we should see a more comprehensive list of compatibles. I just hope they don't try to go too proprietary with it and go, oh, well, the best one is going to be the special Sony one. And if you really want to get the most out of it, and that's going to cost you an extra $80 on top of the usual, what they did with the whole proprietary memory for their handhelds.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of money I spent for an 80 gig card on the Vita makes me sick physically. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, the last bit of news that we have, again, it's a light news week. I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about Blizzard, but there's not much going on there. Just other than that, it's just a gross mess. I'm encouraged to see that a lot of the employees have staged walkouts. A lot of people at Ubisoft are showing solidarity with the sexual assault survivors at Blizzard. Okay. Because a lot wasn't really done when that all came out, and now we're getting a lot of attention on Blizzard and bringing back up the issues with Ubisoft. A lot of people are staging sit-ins on World of Warcraft servers and other online Blizzard games. And for those who haven't already renewed their subscription, they're not renewing it. There was a particular day this week where no one, we just boycotted playing anything from Activision Blizzard. And of course, you have a lot of people that are like, I'm hashtag anti-SJW, hashtag super straight, hashtag I'm a douchebag. And they're all like, I'm going to play more Call of Duty, bro. Cool.
Right.
Do you, buddy? If taking up for people who are being sexually harassed at work somehow bothers you, well, A, you suck, but B, nobody's worried about your opinion. Go away.
Yeah, and then they're like, the employees still need to get paid, so I'm going to play the game.
I'm like, yeah, all that money you're paying to them is definitely going straight to the employees and not to Bobby Kotick's, special summer cottage. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that already was an issue, all the layoff and firing and all the money going, filtering to the top. Fuck that company from top to bottom. Ooh. And for people to go, well, if they didn't like it, they should just leave. Whoo.
Right. Yeah. Don't get started.
Anyways, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. So the last bit of news that I wanted to mention was that Horizon Forbidden West, multiple sources are reporting that it's getting delayed to Q1 2022 at least, which is fine. I'm not really sure about the reason for this. I looked up and just saw, Bloomberg and a few other outlets hinting at it. Did you see anything about why that it might be being delayed?
No, I didn't see anything, but you can just assume that it's putting the final touches on. Just wanting to put out a great, amazing game with no game-breaking bugs or anything. Nobody wants Cyberpunk to happen to their game.
Yeah.
So companies are going to be extra careful, and they're going to delay games as long as they need to.
Yeah, I was thinking it was either that or maybe just the fact that, there's not enough PS5s in people's hands. Because while PS5 and the Series X and S are shattering sales records, a lot of those systems aren't in actual game players' hands yet. They're still in the hands of scalpers, right?
Yeah, I saw the PS5 sold 10 million units.
Yeah. 8 million by scalpers, 2 million of actual people have them. Yeah, so so software sales are going to suffer until those things get released by these greedy scalpers. Either they start selling them at MSRP or people get desperate and buy them above MSRP. I hope they just end up with a bunch of stock that they have to sell at a loss. I really do.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous what they did. It seems to get worse and worse every single release.
It does.
Yeah.